Okay,
Our title
Stephanie,
reader,
are you introducing our judge or is that you, Bill?
I will.
You
No,
will? Okay.
right, Bill?
Stephanie will, but before she does, I'll introduce Tricia Brown as our title reader. Thank you, Tricia.
Yeah.
Oh, very
Trish.
nice.
Very nice.
Okay, Stephanie, take it away.
Thanks. Well, our judge tonight is Steve Hinchey. Steve is one of our regular monthly judges, and tonight is actually his 8th time judging one of our monthly competitions. Thank you, Steve. Steve is a former judge's chair with N4C and is well versed in the complexities of the different competition categories. Stephen began photographing in the 60s with his focus spanning from architectural images to nature photography and studio work. His philosophy is that it is important to understand the message the creator is trying to express. The title is a guide in this understanding, reinforcing what you have seen or guiding you to the true message. So please join me in welcoming back Steve Hinchey.
Welcome, Steve.
Hi, thank you for that introduction.
Okay,
Creative, basic plus intermediate, one image. Winemaker's Alchemy, when the hoop, whoops, the title went away.
Oh, there it is.
I don't see the title.
Oh.
Wait, when the hoop on a barrel makes its own art. I just read it from the notes, but I don't see titles right now.
Huh.
here,
So I see them.
I do.
Image
I
cross.
see
do
them.
too.
Tricia, maybe move a menu or something over to the side or the photos, our lovely heads.
Squeeze down your screen. It may be just off the screen.
Right.
Scroll up.
There we go. Okay.
Okay, I like this image. It's very abstract, which opens it up to lots of interpretations, and you can see an awful lot of things in this if you look at it, which makes it very interesting, very intriguing. I saw a face in the upper right-hand corner, so that made me look around the image for a lot of different things. So what I really like about this is that there are a lot of different things you can take from this, a lot of different ideas you can push into it of your own, and not just the beauty of what the maker saw. I also saw it looked the white spot in the middle made me think it was an oil painting. That's what led me in the direction of this. So I think that I like it because there's a lot you can see in this image. It might not grab you as you walk by it, but if you stop and look at it, I think it will keep you interested in it. Thank you.
Creative Advanced, 5 images. Radial Bouquet.
I wanted to know more about this. There's a gap in the lower left. I mean, the radial idea is lovely. I want to understand. I want to understand more about the gap in the lower left, and because you can interpret that in a lot of different ways, and so it makes you. This again makes you think more about what is the message the creator is trying to get to us. Um, it's a lot of people will tell you don't put the subject dead center. Well, this is one of those cases where dead center is where it should be.
Odonata in blue.
Sorry, I just missed that. We can go on to the next. Yeah. Odonta in blue is really, I think it's really tough to take pictures of these insects as it is. I'm glad you were able to get down and get really close to it. I like the tones that you've made to it. Normally, I don't like such a bright background, but where your subject is so dark, the bright background works for you because it does make the subject stand out and come to our attention in this case. Really delicate um, wings that you've captured are beautiful. And, I'm trying to, it would capture you as you walk by. The colors in this would make you stop and look at it. So it is very impactful. And it's a lovely, lovely idea for this creative image. Thank you.
Columbine.
I think it's a lovely image. I wonder, to me, the message, the Columbine and the background sort of blend together. They're all sort of at the same color level with a lot of the same colors. I wish that you could have found a way to make the two of them more separate. Because I think the Columbine is lovely. I think it just, in this case, gets lost in the background. Thank you.
Earthquake.
I think a really good technique here. It does make you feel like all these buildings are in the middle of an earthquake. And I don't really care how you did it, but I think it's very well done to get this feeling of the shaking that you experience in an earthquake. I think you really did it well. Thank you.
Day is done.
I I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by why there is so much black. But then you look at the title and the title says, "Oh, day is done." Well, the subject isn't about the red, it's about the black and the yellow. The sun is going down, is disappearing, your day is over, and darkness is taking over. That's what happens when day is done. And so in that case, I think it's really well thought out that there is so much of the image is dark because it is indicating the end of the day rather than having. I think if it was in verse, I don't think we'd get across the same message. If most of the image was red, I don't think he would have the same message here. So I appreciate that you did it that way. Thank you.
Creative Masters, 3 images. I.
Um, in a lot of cases, people, as I spoke about with the Columbine, where I wanted more separation, in this case, you've gone in the opposite direction, and each of these rhinos seem to meld together. And I think for this image, it works, where they all meld together, and you don't know if it's. I think to me, the message was it's not one eye from 3 beasts. It's 3 eyes from one beast, and that's sort of the way that I took it. So I think that by sort of melding them all together, that the way you've done it, whereas the background is where there is background, it's blurry and out of focus, but the beasts, the rhinoceri are really sharp and sharply in focus, and I think the eyes are all well in focus, and I think this really works well. Thank you.
There are only 2 northern white rhino left in the world, closely guarded in Kenya. While attempting to clone another, scientists accidentally created a 2-headed white rhino. Okay, kidding. Kenya.
Okay, kidding, but I spent an amount of time that I don't want to share trying to figure out where the differentiation was between the two. I think you did a really good job of making these rhinos look like one. So I really appreciate the work that you've put into it. It does really look like a 2-headed rhino. So I think that it was well thought out and well executed here to make this creative picture. Thank you.
Soft blue salvia.
So I'm glad that you put in the title "Soft Blue Salvia" or "Soft Blue" because it told me that this was intentional. This sort of this soft focus was intentional, and that's what you, again, wanted to do. In this case, I do think that in this case, the background is a little bright for this image. Maybe it it's tough to it's a tough image because of the way the salvia is constructed. It'd be tough to select the background and sort of tone it down. So I don't know that there's much you can do there. But I do appreciate that.
Nature Basic plus Intermediate, 4 images. These avocet chicks are born with downy feathers and are able to hunt and swim on their own within hours of hatching. They develop quickly and make their own flights at around 4 to 5 weeks old.
So in nature, the title is what's important, and the title is more important than the technical value of the image. But I think you've done well in both. I think it's a really good title. You've told me, how the chicks are born and how quickly they can develop. So, and then it's this lovely picture of the avocets. I mean, it's really, you've got in close, you've gotten them sharp, there's no blurring. So I think it's a really good nature picture that it combines a good image with a really good title. Thank you.
Red-shouldered hawk taking off from a broken pole off of Guerneville Road.
It's a lovely picture of a red-shouldered hawk. I think it's really nice. I like that the wings are sort of blurry. It gives the flight. You give illusion of motion to a still picture. The title really isn't really, I don't think, comes up to par for an enforcing nature definition. You haven't told me anything about the hawk. You just said, well, he took off from a pole. Well, tell me something about a red-shouldered hawk, and why they sit on poles or why they do something. You've just told me, this is the image I took. So I really think that you're missing the story value in this image. Thank you.
Young baboon enjoying a seed pod from a Cagelia africana tree in the Kruger National Park, South Africa.
Again, it's a lovely image. I really like this image of the baboon. Really good. His face is really sharp. His eyes he's got a nice glint in his eyes, or her eyes. Again, I would like more of a story in the title. Are seed pods a big part of his diet, or are they a specialty? How did he get it? What kind of seed pod is it? Again, you've told me what you photographed, but you haven't told me anything about the animal that you photographed. Thank you.
Totem pole major cactus, Lophoscereus exorting variant. Native to Baja, this cactus is a curious caricature.
You're almost there. It's a curious caricature. A curious caricature of what? You've told me that it's native to Baja, and that's an important part of your story. But then you say it's a curious caricature. Well, why? Why did you reach that conclusion? You just said something without telling me why. So again, I really want you to be stronger in your storylines on these nature images. Thank you.
Nature Advanced, 6 images. Male white egret with breeding feathers and juvenile. Each year, many egrets and herons build nests in 3 large eucalyptus trees in a rookery in Santa Rosa, California.
Okay, much better. You've told us, that how you identify the parent, because he's got his breeding feathers, and the juvenile. We can just barely see the juvenile. That's a good shot. I mean, not much you can do with a nature image to modify it, but we've got a really good image of these two, and you've given us a nice nature story to go along with the image. Thank you.
Got it. A Montero's hornbill, Tachus monteri, native to Namibia, captures a grasshopper. Of the hornbills, it is the most adapted to dry habitats, mainly getting its fluid needs from food.
Okay, other than the got it part, it's a really good nature title. You've told us what we're looking at. He's captured a grasshopper, and then you've told us that he's adapted to dry habitats and getting his fluids from the food he eats. So I think that's a really good nature story. And this is a lovely picture of the hornbill. I mean, it's nice catchlight in his eyes, great picture of his beak and the grasshopper in it. Even his feathers are lovely. So I think you really did a very good. I like that he's got this, really like that you captured the stone right behind him as his backdrop. That really makes the hornbill stand out. And you've got lovely grass in the background, nice and brown, nice, not distracting. And you can see how the hornbill fits in with the grasses right around. So I think this is a really good image. Thank you.
Bodega Bay sand wasp. As the name suggests, sand wasps burrow into sand dunes, beaches, and other areas with loose sand.
I'm not a stickler, as some judges would say they'd want to see him in the sand. I'm not a stickler for that. I don't care. I'm more interested in the story that you've told. He's a sand wasp, so he burrows in the sand dunes, beaches, and other areas. So
Uh-oh.
Huh.
sorry, I'm back. Um, I think it's a lovely picture of the sand wasp. I can really see his wing feathers, his colors, his eyes. So I think you did a really great job of getting down and getting that image. Thank you. Next.
Sunbittern flight feathers, one of two. The sunbittern, Eurypyga helias, is a shorebird with subdued grayish-brown colors when not in flight. They live near rivers, streams, or lagoons from Guatemala to Brazil. Two of two. However, once fully spread, their wings show a stunning display of yellow, orange, and rust colors to attract a mate during courtship and scare away predators.
So a really good use here of a sequence because you first tell us what the bird looks like, when it's not in flight. It's just very subdued, and you're really showing that here, and it's a nice picture of the bird, but a really nice story. You've gotten us to something to look forward to, and then you go in the next image and you show us what it looks like, and it's a lovely. I mean, this is a great picture of this bird that's so colorful and so sharp, tack sharp, beautiful picture of his face, his feathers, everything. So, I mean, you've really used a sequence very well here to show us the two parts of this bird that you really wanted to show us was his normal feathers and then his flight feathers. I mean, I think it's very lovely. Thank you.
The breeding male mallard duck, Anis platyrhynchos, is easily identified by its iridescent green head, yellow bill, white collar around the neck, brown breast, and grayish body.
Again, a really good story. You've told me that this is a breeding male mallard duck, and then you've gone and told me how you identified it as such. So that's a really good story. Now I can go out and identify a breeding male mallard duck. And you've got a really, really sharp picture of him. One of the things I really appreciated in this picture was to be able to see through the water and see his foot there. I don't know why, but I liked that. I think that it just really was an extra bonus in this picture of the duck. Thank you.
Great egret flying through the Sacramento wetlands.
A lovely picture of a great egret flying through the wetlands. I wish the story was a little bit more. Um, I think it could be as simple as why his neck is like that. We all know what a great egret's neck looks like. Why is it like this when it's in flight? So again, I wish you'd given us a little bit more information in your story because it's a lovely picture of a great egret. The egret's in the right position in the photo. It gives him plenty of room to move through the photo. So I think you did a really good job with the photo. I just wish you had a stronger title with this one. Thank you.
Nature Masters, 6 images.
And
Preening. This common bird behavior is important for feather maintenance, including alignment, to help with flight and insulation, and distribution of preen oil for waterproofing.
okay, for some reason I'm not getting this image. There it is. Now I got it. Great. So you've told us what the bird is doing and why it's doing it. So a really good nature image and a really good nature story and a lovely image of him. It's really tough because they're so bright and you caught it in the daylight and you can see you're on the verge, but you haven't gone over of too much exposure. We can still see a lot of the wings. And there's not much you can do in nature to fix that. It's the time of day that you picked it and the fact that it's a white bird. It's going to reflect a lot back at your camera, and your camera is going to have a lot of problems with exposure with an image like this, but it's really good. Thank you.
Atlantic puffins, Phytercula arctica, can reach speeds of up to 55 miles per hour. To slow down for landing, they put their wings forward, splay their tail, and extend their feet. Orgarfjordur, Eystri, Iceland.
Again, a really good story. You caught them in this position and you determined why they're here and you determined what they're doing to slow down. It sort of is like a jet lowering its flaps and everything else just to try to cup more air under it to slow it down and keep sporting it. So I think it's a really good story that you've told us here. And I'm loving the image of these two. They're just separate, so that's really nice. They're still two separate birds, not merged into one. You've captured all the colorfulness of their bodies. And so I think you've done a really good job here. Thank you.
Lion working on its dinner of oryx in Samburu National Park, Kenya. Panthera leo oryx vasa.
So a really good shot of this lion eating his dinner. I mean, it's exceptional. You got down. I don't know if you had your camera on a pole or what, and how you got it down so low to be shooting across at this lion. So that's a really important part of this image that I like, that you did get down so low. I wish. I wish what? I wish the story was a little bit more, but I think it's halfway decent. It's a fairly decent story, but I wish there was a little bit more. Did he, chase it down? Is the oryx a standard or of his dinner, or is this a special dinner, or what? But it's a really lovely image here. Thank you.
With bills perfectly designed for the task, flamingos continuously capture food particles and expel the water while sweeping sideways. American flamingo, Phenicopterus ruber, Safari West, Santa Rosa.
Um, so a really good story because you told us something I don't know how many people knew about this expelling the water while they're sweeping sideways, and that's a design of this bill so that they can expel the water and sweep and eat at the same time, and a really good image. I mean, the image is lovely, just showing the action that you're describing in the story. So I think the image really supports the story well. Thank you.
Excuse me, I'm eating. Nudibranchia, a soft-bodied marine gastropod mollusk. They shed their shells after their larval stage, commonly called a sea slug. There are about 3,000 species of nudibranchs.
Okay, a good story. You've told me what they are. You've told me that he's after the larval stage. He um, shed his cell, and this image is I don't know how you got so much light on him. He's so bright against that dark background. It really stands out, and is a spectacular image of that sea slug or nudibranch, and a really good story to support it. Thank you.
Panther chameleon change colors, males brighter than females. Their 5 toes are fused into groups of 3 and 2 to aid in clinging to branches. Panther chameleon, Columna pardalis, nosy bee, Madagascar.
So a really good story. I think you could have, because you weren't talking about the chameleon changing colors, you didn't need to include that. But this part you told us about 5 toes fused into groups of 3 and 2 is very informative. And then your picture of him allowed me to go look at his toes and see where the fusing was. So I think it's a really good image that really supports the story about the 5 toes, and how they're split. I thought they just had 2, and for all I knew. So I think that's a really good story, and it's a great image of this chameleon. I mean, it's lovely, he's sharp and in great detail. And as I said, I can count the toes on his foot. That's very well done. Thank you.
Okay, we'll stop, take a 5-minute break. We're happy, and we can begin.
Journalism advanced, 3 images. Coquille River Lighthouse, one of 2. It is a historic landmark located near Bandon, Oregon on the Coquille River and part of Bullard Beach State Park. It is the youngest lighthouse in the state. 2 of 2. The lighthouse served from 1896 to 1939 to guide sailors from the Pacific Ocean through the treacherous sandbanks of the Coquille River to the port of Bandon.
This is a nice introductory picture to your story, and I like the story. I like the story that it's the youngest lighthouse in the state. Um, the image here is a little centered, but that might work in if you were doing a newspaper article, they wouldn't want to waste a lot of space on it. The second image, I think, is really good, really good. I like the story you've told more in the second about guiding sailors through the treacherous sandbanks of the Coquille River, and I start to think that this is the treacherous sandbanks that you're showing us here, along with the lighthouse. So I think this is a much stronger image. The second page is a much stronger image, a much stronger story. And I wonder if you even need the first one. This one is so good here. Thank you.
Thirsty, one of 3. These wild bush elephants are heading to a
Something's
local
wrong with
water
my
hole
internet.
in Etosha National Park, Namibia. In the dry season, water holes attract large numbers of elephants. 2 of 3. The bush elephants depend on water from water holes to survive in this arid environment. 3 of 3. Solar panels provide the energy to run the water pump that supplies water to this water hole.
So a really good story. Let's go back to the first image. A really good story of them. This is your setup. This is they're going to the water hole. Fine, lovely, great picture of the elephants. And the second image, Um, I'm not seeing the second image yet.
Apparently a delay.
Yeah. This is a really good picture about them depending upon the water holes to survive. A good picture of them lounging in it. The third image is what, is really the heart of this story, and I really get a kick out of this. And you know, yes, it's the hand of man, but it's important to the story. In nature, they might, but in journalism, this is the heart of the story about the solar panels that are providing energy to run the water pump that that supplies the water to this hole. So I think this is really, a very key part of your whole story. This last page really makes the story, I think. It's very well done. It's a great shot of the elephants along with the solar panels. I think it's a really good story. Thank you.
Scientists at NOAA report the frequency and severity of tornadoes are increasing, along with a greater risk of more off-season tornadoes. Pictured, a tornado threatens farmland in Nebraska, June 2024.
So a good story telling us about they're going to be more frequent and more severe tornadoes. I really think that's a good story to follow up on. And this image really is amazing. It really tells the story of what you want. Um, I like how much space you've attributed to the clouds because that's where the tornado starts. So you've shown us all this energy in the cloud, and you've shown us the tornado starting to reach down, and so that really supports this whole story that you've got on a tornado, and their severity. So I think that the image really supports your story very well. Thank you.
Journalism Masters, 2 images. Wooden Boat Challenge, 1 of 2. Contestants have 3 hours to build their boats from scratch, including paddles, using hand tools and the provided wood materials. 2 of 2. In an exciting final round of racing on a choppy Bodega Bay, SS Minnow wins the trophy by barely a length. 2025 Bodega Bay Fishermen's Festival, May 3rd.
I love this story and this image. You've told that you're telling us about this wooden boat challenge, and these guys have just 3 hours to build it. And I look at them, and yeah, they're all using, I would expect, portable saws and all, but no, it's all got to be hand tools. So I think you've got a really good image here of them, the use of the hand tools, and everybody has hand tools. There, you look in the background, there are no drills and saws and all that are electric powered. So I think you really telling me the story of this wooden challenge where how they have to build them. And then you go to the second one and we show them in use. So I think that would really be two good images to support this story. I don't know, since we didn't see it winning by barely a length because whatever boat this is, seems to be in front by a lot. Maybe didn't need that, but the idea of the exciting racing on choppy Bodega Bay, I think, is really important. And you show them out there racing with these boats that they just built. So I think you did a really good job with this news story. Thank you.
Pictorial, basic plus intermediate, 5 images. Let there be pink.
And there is pink. There's a lot of pink. There's a lot of everything. There's a lot of leaves. There's a lot of petals. There's a lot of vines. And in this case, the stems and all don't seem to get in the way of looking at it. What got me a little was there wasn't necessarily any place to stop. When I looked at this, my eye was constantly going. I did stop for a bit in that just a little to the left and below center. There's that one petal. There's that one, not a single petal. What do you call it? The flower. where I did sort of rest my eye. So it took me a while to find that to rest on, but the rest is just so much. I need some place to rest my eyes. Thank you. Next.
Spot and Teddy running wild in Valley of the Gods.
Wow, I didn't know they had names, so that's great. I love the energy in this. There's a lot of energy, the dust that they're kicking up, and a beautiful landscape that you've chosen for us. I just sort of wish that Teddy wasn't cut off. Wish we could see more of him, but it's a lovely image. Thank you.
Henry David Thoreau said it best when talking about Walden Pond. He said that the pond is Earth's eye, and looking into its reflections causes the viewer to reflect more deeply on his own nature.
I don't know if you can.
Stephen is frozen.
Sorry, I'm having a little trouble with my network connection. But I like this image. I like the lake. It does look like an eye reflecting what it sees up in the sky. It's really important. And we have this. I like that you've included this structure on the lower right. It's not just out in the wilderness. It does show, where a man might have spent some time. I don't know if, that's the right size. But I'm really enjoying the colors in the sky. And we even have this little texture down in the lower right. So it gives us some place to stand and be part of this image. And I'm really enjoying the colors of the sky reflected in the lake. I really think you did a good job here. Thank you.
Power in motion.
Wow, what a great image for this horse. It's a really good, in this case, we don't need the whole horse to know that it's a horse. We're just basically looking at the head. It's great. I wish there was a little catch light in its eye. I really don't see that. When you don't see the catch light, it makes the horse look a little stuffed, a little dead. But it's a very powerful image of this horse. The I like the way that his mane is flowing and everything is still in detail. You've gotten a really good focal length and a really good, depth of field going here to make this image work. Thank you.
New spring leaves at Spring Lake.
Excellent depth of field here. Excellent depth of field where the spring leaves are really in sharp focus. And everything else, even though it's sort of the same color, everything else is so out of focus that in this case, there is a separation between the leaves that you want us to talk about and the background. So in this image, I'm not bothered by that. There definitely a differentiation between what you want us to look at and what's in the background. And the leaf that I think is most prominent is the one that still shows a little red in the lower left. I think that's really sharp. I like the colors in that leaf and I like the shape and its position. So I really think you did a good job capturing that. Thank you.
Pictorial Advanced, 5 images. Inverness at high tide.
This is lovely, and I had to work on liking this because I have a personal aversion to when the sky and the reflection are identical or are the same size. I often say I wish you'd have spent more time with one or the other. In this case, I like it. I wonder if you needed as much blue up there to get through your message, but you decided that this is how much blue you wanted us to see. I do like that it isn't just a still reflection because there's weeds and grass and dirt in the foreground breaking up the symmetry of the whole reflection, which I like. That to me, to my personal preference, makes it more interesting, than just a dual reflection of the two. So I think that works well for you in this case. Thank you.
Botanical romantical.
So I had to stop and look at this for a while because it looks like a friggin' painting. It looks very nice. Um, just the detail in the flowers, and the idea that you in your title you're directing us to the romantic side of this image, and we see it at the top there where one uh, lily seems to be caressing the other. So I think that you really picked a good title to get through the message that you wanted to send to us. And I think the lilies are just lovely. The detail in them is excellent, and they have a great standout from their background. Really, I think you've captured this very well. Thank you.
A flirting moment.
A really lovely picture of this young lady. I know I've seen sometime before. I think here we saw another picture of this group of people, this tribe, and I'm really loving the colors in this. You have to wonder. I'm sure that everything on her, from the colors in her uh, um, scarf to the tattoos on her leg, mean something. And I just wish I knew what they all meant, and even the colors in her forehead, what it all meant. But she's with her hand over that, a very flirting, her hand over her mouth, very flirty moment. I think you've done a very good job here. Thank you.
All morning view of the Bridger Mountains from the Cherry River fishing access, Gallatin Valley, Montana.
Look at the colors of this area. Um, it's you've got a little road in here leading you in and taking you off to the right, but it makes you see but as you follow the road, it makes you see the fence. And I really, the fence is really interesting. I'm glad you included that in the image. Uh, it sort of gives a delineation between the nature, the wildlife side of the image and the man-made side of the image. And you get into the middle part of the image, lovely grasses. Everything is very sharp. The trees are very sharp, and the mountains are very sharp, and you get to them, and the sky. So I think this is a really, really, pastoral, idyllic image that you provided us here. Thank you.
Seagull chases rainbow, king tide, Duncan's landing.
Thank you for the title. I did not, I look at the images first before I look at the title, and then in your title you said seagull chasing the rainbow, so it made me go back and look for the rainbow. So thank you for that. The title told me one of the things you wanted me to look at in this image, and I got it.
Steve is frozen again.
I thought maybe it was me.
Sorry about that. I really like the way that the position of the spray in this image. It starts off a little to the right and then just moves off to fill in the whole rest of the image. You've given us some rocks there to feel part of this image, to feel like we're standing there watching it. So I think in this case, the rocks really help us to become part of this image. Thank you.
Pictorial Masters, 5 images. The Orchid House.
Lovely picture of these orchids. I get a feel for what I got a feel for when I looked at this was a waterfall of orchids. Um, So I really liked that the image of these yellow orchids coming down and flowing out, and got a nice background there. I like the green leaf coming up from the lower right. I think that adds to the interest of the image. Um, I don't know so much about the orchids on the left, the white orchids coming in, uh, because they're white, they're bright, and they sort of draw me away from the yellow. I wonder if, does your message still come through if they weren't there? But I love the cascading effect of the yellow orchids. Thank you.
Best friends forever.
Um, yeah, I didn't, again, I needed to see your story, see your title to really understand the story. I just thought it was two leaves and a lovely, interesting color on the water, but then you said best friends, and oh yeah, their stems on the leaves are look like they're touching, and yeah, they're best friends. So it really changed for me the story that you were trying to tell, the message you were trying to send through this image. So thank you for giving us a really nice title to reinforce, to make me look for the message that you were sending in this image. Thank you.
Foamy surf breakdown, Goat Rock Beach.
Wow. Again, as in the previous image, a lot of energy is coming through here. And the energy is filling up your whole image, your whole screen. So it makes it feel even more energetic because of all the space that it's taking up and consuming within the image. So I think it really is uh, a good crop that you've chosen here to send this message. I think that I can focus on the white foam in the middle, so that does give my eyes someplace to come to and rest and stop, because there's an awful lot going on in the rest of the image. I need to come back and stop and then go back out and look at pieces in the image. So you've done a good job there. Thank you.
Timeless.
Um, so this feeds into my fear of falling. Uh, um, but it is timeless. It's the light here is magnificent. Um, the light hitting the rocks and turning it a little orange, and the rocks on the background are just a little bit more out of the light, so they're a little redder. Um, but the depth, all the layers that you've showing through this image is really really good. Again, I mean the I can look at the background, but the brightness, the light on the rocks in the foreground keep drawing me back to that, which is I think the message that you want me to look at is these guys and how spectacular they are, and how old they are. So I think you really captured the light in this very well, and it's a lovely image to hang up. Thank you.
The Milky Way over Death Valley.
So this makes me think how the hell people see all these um, objects in the sky. There are so many stars. Once you get out of the city, there are so many stars in the sky. How do you see Sagittarius? How do you see Orion? And this sort of reinforces that. This shows that. I mean, once you get away from the city skies, it's lovely to see the Milky Way. You've done a really good job of capturing it and showing us, what the sky is like. I also like, and I don't know if you light painted it or what, but there is enough light that we see, Death Valley, the land. It's not just about the stars; it's about the relationship between the two. And I'm surprised that you got it so well done, because it looks like just over the hills there's a big city, pumping a lot of light into the sky, but you still captured all these stars. So I think that technically you did a really good job with creating this image. Thank you.
Critique feedback, all levels, 6 images. The magnificence of spring.
Wow. This image really has a lot of impact. Of course, that flower taking up most of the image really, grabs you and says, come over here and look at me and feel me. And so from that standpoint, it meets one of its markers to make it a really nice image. And then you've done this nice softening that with the background to make the I don't know porch that you're on or deck that you're on just look a little false, a little not just out of focus, but a little surreal. That's the word I want to use with the whole rest of the background. It's all just a little surreal. Everything's a little surreal in its whole image, but it doesn't compete. Nothing competes with the flower that's just popping out at us. This could go in creative or it could go in pictorial. I think that when I first saw it, I wanted to do something with all the tendrils in the background. But the more I looked at it, the more I said, no, I think those should stay. Uh, yeah, I think those should stay. I think that they add to the whole story of spring, of everything growing and blossoming and surrounding you. So I think I think it's a really interesting image. Thank you.
Early morning on the Firehole River, Yellowstone National Park.
So this has a lot of aspects to speak in its favor. You've got a lovely river coming in. It's sort of right in the corner, but in this case, I think it works. It does meander up through and brings you the first bend, it brings you to the tree. The next bend brings you to the sky. And um, I like how the tree offsets the sky. I'm glad you kept them both in there. I think they both belong in this. Um, they're both, large objects that sort of counterbalance each other and keep the image in balance. So I love the colors that are in the grass. They seem to reflect the colors of the sun in the water. So that all just sort of feeds one into the other. So I think that you've done a really good job. I don't think it needs to be cropped or anything. I think it's a great shot and everything's included. Thank you.
White winter.
I'll tell you, I love from the buildings to the mountains. I think those are great. What I didn't like was the snow the two uh, between the two rails, and it probably just because the snow is so reflective that there's no detail there. And I think that if you could look at it and see if there's anything you can do to bring more detail into the snow, just because it's almost a third of the image, but it's got no detail in it. I wonder if there's anything that can be done about that. But from the far fence through the structures, the buildings, the trees, the mountains, I think everything else is just really enjoyable to look at and very lovely. Thank you.
Rainy day in Healdsburg.
Um, Interesting. What intrigued me about this was probably one of the reasons you took it was how the vineyards sort of you can look at them as growing up to be the trees in the background. They sort of just look like um, a precursor or a larval stage of the trees in the background. And I think that's sort of why you took this picture. l- I like that you're on, I can see the symmetry in the vineyard right in front of us, and it sort of looks like a path leading me through the vineyard and up to the trees in the background. And the trees in the background are the payoff for my making the trip psychologically through the vineyard to the trees. So I think that you've covered a lot of things in this that really make it pop, that really make it stand out. Thank you.
Flight from a bridge, a rock dove at Hammond Bridge, Humboldt County.
A nice picture of the dove from your title. I wanted to see more of the bridge. The bridge that we see there is really nice. I like the rust. I like the texture in the bridge. I wonder what this would look like in black and white. But I really wanted to see more of the bridge, even though the rock dove is lovely. I wanted to see more of the bridge, but I think, but try it in black and white. See if, I know that you then lose the color in the rock dove. You'll lose all the purples in him, but just give it a shot and see what that looks like. Thank you.
Succulent silhouettes.
Um, I wondered why you use such a soft focus on this. I'm sure that they're interesting plants, especially along the edges, where they grow these extensions. So I'm trying to figure out what the message is in why it's such a soft focus, and because it seems to go on forever, and there's not much differentiating the background from the foreground. Thank you.
Okay, we've covered all of the images. We'll take another 5 minutes and then we'll come back with the awards.
Creative, basic plus intermediate, 1 image.
Actually, I think this is for Steve to rattle through. These are the
Yep.
awards.
All right.
And in first place,
Let me get my cursor in the right place.
yes,
Oh,
Elizabeth.
yeah. Should have.
Excellent.
Neat.
Excellent. Congratulations, Elizabeth.
Yeah,
Yes, definitely.
looks like something I would have taken.
Yes,
It's almost like Bill's waves, but
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good call, yeah.
I thought the same thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
yeah, that's really
congratulations to Elizabeth. Creative Advanced, 3 images. Third place, Mark.
nice. Yeah.
Oh, very nice, Mark.
Thank you.
So cool.
Just a couple of comments. I haven't attended one of these full sessions
Hmm.
in a while, and I'm really blown away by everyone's images. Very nice. And Steve, I always love your comments, so that's one of the reasons I made sure I attended a full session tonight. So I really, really have enjoyed this evening. It's been my first full session this year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Glad you're here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Congratulations. Second place, Ronnie.
Oh, thank you. Your point about the contrast between the subject and the background are well taken. Thank you.
Congratulations. First place,
Mm.
Sherry.
Yes,
Oh,
great.
thank you very much. I really appreciate your comments on this. Thank you.
Where was that at?
That is the Palouse
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
off of Ringo Butte.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
I would have
just-
never guessed that.
Yeah,
Me
all the
neither.
layers in the foreground, but I did a lot to it. So
Yeah. Really nice. Yeah, very
Thank
nice.
you.
Painting, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Congratulations. Creative Masters, 3 images. Third place,
Mhm.
Liz.
I love this.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
So
Haven't entered in a
beautiful.
while, so better get on it. This was a layered image of a blurred image and a one in focus, but that's why.
Cool.
I love the way it looks.
Yeah, just really soft.
Congratulations. Second place,
Yeah.
Tamara.
This is great. This
This
is
is
so
really
great.
Yeah, that's great. Oh my God.
Congratulations to Tamara. First place,
Oh,
Oh,
Jennifer.
thank you.
Wow.
Very
Yay.
cool.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I. Great.
Someone else suggested a title of Rhino Rugby.
Nice
Nice
alliteration.
Good.
Oh, that's funny.
That's good too.
Where did you take this? Where were you?
This was in Safari West, and it's actually 3 rhinos, a family.
Those
Mama
guys.
on the left,
Nice.
baby in the middle, big baby, and Papa on the right.
That's fabulous.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
that's
they and then I
fantastic,
just
yeah.
cropped it right in just to get all their eyes.
Hmm.
Oh, thank you very much, and I really, really enjoyed doing this image. It was great.
Outstanding, absolutely outstanding.
Congratulations. Nature, basic plus intermediate, 1 image. First place,
Hmm.
Martin.
So cute.
Oh,
Really neat.
Wow.
Oh, those are beautiful.
so
That's just
cool.
lovely. Capture.
Yeah.
Big and strong those legs are on those tiny little chicks.
Little birds.
And how big their feet are.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
gotta grow
really
into their
big
feet.
feet.
They gotta
Oh,
grow
yeah,
into
11,
them.
yeah.
Yes.
It's like a
Yeah, I was
mini-
amazed at how the depth is on this, usually with your longer lens, everything, there's only a few things in focus, but here you got all the little birds and the adults in the background, everything. That's pretty neat. F11, nice.
310.
Congratulations to Martin. Nature Advance, 3 images. Third place, Trisha.
Thank you. This was taken in San Diego at the that park down there, Balboa Park
Oh, mhm.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
Pond.
Uncolored.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just noticed the foot.
It is great. I love it.
That's awesome.
A little action there.
Yeah. Wonderful colors.
Hmm.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Second place,
Mm.
Pat.
Oh, yeah, that's lovely.
Yeah.
Where'd she take that? Namibia.
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 2021.
Really interesting bird.
Wow.
Yeah. And I agree with Stephen, that rock is just perfect to
The
set it
right
off.
spot. Yeah.
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 Hmm.
Perfect background.
I wish you could hear their call. It is scary. Pretty scary. I heard it at a place called Bird World in England, and they have a few hornbills, and they are so loud.
Congratulations to Pat. First place, Stephanie.
This is really cool.
Oh, yeah.
That's really
Those feathers are
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
amazing.
So
Oh, my
cool.
God.
stunning
Amazing.
picture. My
Where
God.
are you in space?
Yeah.
Yeah, where are you flying there, Stephanie?
Where was this bird, you mean?
No,
Where
where
were
were
you?
you?
Where was I think that I was just on a little bit of a rise by this yucky pond. You saw how yucky it was.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to get a picture. The shot of this bird is from behind, because with both his wings out, he's got like these 2 eyes on each, looks like on each wing. and the tail feathers. So that's the quote unquote the shot that all the photographers go for. Of course, I've been trying for a couple of years to get the shot. I've never gotten it. And
Yeah.
but I was here, trying to just get, like, as soon as he moved, boom, I'm trying to get something, and I didn't even know I had this. It was sitting in a bunch of old images I hadn't processed. And
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Surprise, big surprise.
Those
yeah,
are the
nice
best.
surprise. Thank you very much for your comments, Steve.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Nature Masters, 4 images. Honorable mention,
Oh, yes.
Tamara.
Just so
Oh
cool.
my gosh.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love the
Us
eye.
again.
Beautiful
Oh,
color.
eye is so cool.
Mhm.
I like those toes.
Yeah.
Bunches of
Wow.
2 and
Yeah.
3. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
and the
so
tail.
amazing.
The tail. Mhm.
Yeah.
So cool.
Jeez.
Congratulations to Tamara. 3rd place, Bill.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, very
Yeah.
nice.
Thought that was.
Good nature story.
Mhm.
I see all of it, the green stuff coming out of his mouth.
I know, it's gross.
Yum.
It was a hard shot because it was an action shot. They moved their heads really quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And that was 1/25th of a
Fifth.
second. Jeez.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, it was
Wow.
dark also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. Were you far away? You're F11?
No, it's pretty close.
Hmm.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh,
2nd place, Herb.
Oh, Herb.
Great.
Fabulous. Who doesn't
Such
love
great
puffins?
birds.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just love them.
so
Yeah.
cool.
Really
Mhm.
cool looking birds.
Wow.
Yeah, catching them like
Put
that. The same
Put the
pose.
brakes on.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, we
Yeah.
don't have his
Wheels down.
technical info.
No,
Oh,
it
yeah.
doesn't come through all of his images.
Yeah. Huh.
I'm going to use splay as my Wordle word tomorrow.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Herb. 1st place,
Oh,
Jennifer.
Nice, Jen.
thank
Yay.
you so much. Yeah, I was starting to feel anxious because I didn't put the name of this bird, but it's a generalized bird behavior. So
Mhm.
now I feel better.
Guess it didn't hurt, huh?
I guess not.
Good.
Anyway, thank you for your comments. I appreciate it.
Beautiful image.
Thanks, Jennifer.
Congratulations. Journalism Advanced, 3 images. 3rd place, Linda.
Oh, thank you. This is really a neat place to be. And that's, yeah, not having it in the middle would have been better, huh?
Made up
I'm not
for
sure.
it with this one.
Yeah.
This one, yeah.
Yeah. Kidding.
Yeah,
Shot.
this was really fun from the opposite side of the river, but really nice place to go. Thank you for your comments.
Nice one.
Congratulations. 2nd place,
Oh,
Sherry.
Ah, yes.
Oh, thank you very much.
Oh, yeah, my gosh.
Yeah.
That was a workshop, wasn't it?
Yeah, Jennifer and I were both on
Yeah.
that workshop. We had total of 10 days, so really 8 on the road.
Wow.
Shooting bad weather
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Guys.
and eating bad food.
Yeah, right. That too.
Everyone was lovely. I just have to share, we were at one restaurant and one of the participants asked the waitress what kind of cheese they had, and she answered shredded.
Oh.
And that encapsulates the food of that whole trip.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah,
1st place,
oh,
Pat.
Oh, yay.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
wow.
Elephants.
Yeah. Elephant
Excellent.
Brigade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really love this one too. Mhm.
Really nice. Yeah.
Just the texture of their skin.
Mm-hmm. The babies, oh my gosh.
Oh, they're so cute.
He's smiling. I mean, look at those little teenagers' face.
Oh,
It's a little
really
wee baby.
tells quite the story.
So great.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Pat. Journalism Masters, 2 images.
Oh, this is good.
Yeah.
Yay.
It's actually 1 image.
Yeah, it's one entry,
I mean, 1 entry.
right?
The reason it
Got
said 2, yeah, got
That's what you were
split.
talking about. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's
Good story, Bill.
But they both show up.
Yeah.
Fun. A lot of fun, right?
yeah.
Looks like it.
Wonderful.
They even had time to paint theirs in the back.
Wow, yeah. Huh.
Yeah, they have an hour from when they finish building, and they can't touch the boats anymore except to apply paint. Or
Oh.
Oh, okay.
they have an hour to put the name on and that sort of thing. One of the amazing things is they have to do the paddles. You don't think about that. They have to make their own paddles as
Oh
well.
my gosh.
Boy. Looks
The
like
one in
you
the
could
back
get
looks more
splinters from
professional.
that.
Yeah, right.
They're not even round wood. Ouch.
Oh, the person in the back has a real paddle. Oh, but
They
maybe
made
was
it though.
We painted it, but it's the same thing,
Painted it.
using the same material.
Really? Oh, wow.
Wow.
Huh.
Fun.
It's the shaping of it that's the surprise,
Mm-hmm.
especially looking at the ones in front.
Yeah.
Right.
But that
The guy
person in the very
inspected.
back, is that person in the very back a monitor or is that a
No,
contestant?
he's in third
So-
place,
Oh,
working his ass off to get to first.
But the
Very
USS
fun.
Minnow.
There's a kind of a controversy, a lot of arguing about a particular point, which is whether to put plastic around your boat to seal the leaks. And it's a matter of pride for some to not do that, and others insist on it. So the third boat is wrapped in plastic
Oh.
as well.
Oh.
The first
Didn't
two
help.
are just caulking.
Wow.
Looks like duct tape
Congratulations.
too.
Thank you.
Pictorial Basic plus Intermediate, 3 images. 3rd place. Helen.
So great.
nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Gee.
Gorgeous.
Thank you.
Nice place to be.
Fantastic.
Were you at a workshop or just out tromping around?
No, I'm very fortunate. I have a friend who owns those 2 horses. So a couple of months ago, we went to, oh, here I am. So we went out to Valley of the Gods, Monument Valley, and we cut the horses loose, and then we captured all the images. So I was very lucky to have her as a friend and go up there for 5 days and play and
Wow.
photograph and get some new content for my portfolio.
Wow.
Well,
Excellent.
did you have
Yeah.
to have permission from the park or anything to do that?
Yeah, she is very connected with some of the people in the Indian reservation there, so they allowed us to do this. And the reason why the one is cut off is because I had a 500 lens, 1:500, and they just came too close to me, and I just couldn't get out of the way fast enough. So yeah.
I was wondering how you knew their names.
Yes.
That's great.
Beautiful horses.
Mhm.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
2nd place. Anthony.
Very nice.
Spring Lake.
Thank you. I appreciate the feedback.
the texture on those leaves is
Yeah,
fabulous.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, well
Beautiful.
seen.
Yeah.
One color.
Makes you want to touch them, like
Yeah.
if they're wet or slippery or slimy.
Looks like a oak, huh?
A live oak, yeah. Does look like that.
Congratulations. First place,
Mm.
Martin.
Mm.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
A lot of feeling in it.
And I love the nice reference to Thoreau.
Mhm.
It really adds to the feel of the
yeah.
photo.
Mhm.
Congratulations to Martin. Pictorial advanced. 3 images. Third place, Trisha.
Mm.
Thank you. This
Yeah.
was one of the most exciting days at the ocean I've ever had. As it's like 30 feet down to the beach. And these waves were coming. We got swamped a couple of times. And it was so
Yes.
much fun.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a great display.
Great outing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The rainbow.
The
Wow.
rainbow was great.
Yeah, beautiful shot.
Bonus. Nice.
Congratulations. Second place, Linda.
Oh,
So,
thank you.
so beautiful.
Beautiful.
I
Gorgeous
appreciate
scene.
all the comments. This is about a half mile from where I used to live. It's a
Oh,
Wow.
beautiful,
Wow.
beautiful park, and it's a great place to fish and to
mhm.
go and photograph the fisher people.
The clouds are so three-dimensional. They're just wonderful.
Mhm.
It looks like a painting.
Mhm.
It does.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
it's gorgeous.
Mhm.
Beautiful.
Congratulations. First place,
Mhm.
Ronnie.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a real Ronnie
Yay.
photo.
Thank you. Yeah, there they were, just, snuggling up
And loving
each
on each other.
other. And the light was, the light did it, through that first one. It just love it.
What's your
Mhm.
backdrop,
Thanks
Ron?
very much.
What's your backdrop?
Sorry?
What's your backdrop?
Oh, this is outside.
Yeah.
That's my fence.
Okay, your fence.
Oh, fence.
Nice.
Nice.
Beautiful.
I love the treatment.
Yes, I was looking at. Nice.
Little topaz.
That's what I thought.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Pictorial Masters, 4 images. Honorable mention, Liz.
Oh,
So
thanks.
cool.
Kind of
beautiful.
include that little orchid because everybody's invited to the orchid house.
They are beautiful.
A visitor, yeah, they're gorgeous. That's the Orchid House. Is it actual place?
I don't know if it's the name of it, but it was at the Berkeley Botanic Garden.
Mm.
Oh,
The N4C workshop.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
oh wow.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Third place,
Oh,
Bill.
Mhm.
Thank you.
the wave man.
Yeah.
I know, I never would have guessed.
Yeah, right.
It's really beautiful. It's so amazing that there's so much differentiation going on there.
Yeah.
yeah.
And just the way it looks like it's about to pounce and just pull you under.
Yeah, it's amazing to me how fast everything is moving.
Mhm.
1/12,000th of a second.
Gee.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Almost
Wow.
13,000.
Almost 13,000.
Yeah,
12.8
Wow.
My God.
Goat Rock. That's your haunt.
Yep.
Congratulations. Second place,
Oh, nice.
Herb.
Mm.
That looks like Herb's colors.
Best friends forever.
I like how the water is just just getting on top of those leaves. That's very three-dimensional looking too.
Yeah.
Colors are awesome.
Beautiful.
Congratulations to Herb. First place.
Mm.
Herb again.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, beautiful.
Wow.
Timeless is right.
Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
Don't step off.
Yeah, I wonder what.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Herb.
Mm.
And the best image of the evening goes to
Doo-doo-doo.
Stephanie.
Yay.
Oh, Eddie, yes.
Fabulous.
Yes, yes, yes.
Great, thank you. I told you the story about this. Listen, I've seen at least 5 images that, I mean, thank you very much, Steve, for putting this one in, but I could have named at least 5 other images that could have fit in this best in show, but thank you so very much.
Mm, beautiful.
Glad you found it.
I know. I
Yeah.
can't wait to go back through the other 45,000 photos that I took.
See what else you can find.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
And I wanted to also thank Steve for the comments in the critique my image. That was super helpful. I had one in there too.
Oh, great.
It's all really wonderful.
So Stephanie, I learned something from the guys who judge dog shows and how they pick the best in show.
Uh-huh.
It's not the prettiest dog, but it's the best dog that represents their category.
Ah,
And so I thought this was the best representation of its category, and that's why it deserved best in show.
That's great.
Oh,
wow. Okay. Well, thank you for that very much.
I agree.
yeah.
This shot is just amazing.
Yeah.
Thanks. Maybe I'll get one from behind next time.
Yeah, but if you get it from behind, you won't get the eye.
It's true, you know.
Yeah.
That's what makes this shot.
Yeah, that's
Colors.
fabulous. It's just
You know, I
fabulous.
do a wildlife special interest group that is at 2:00 the same day as our as these competitions, and it's with the Marin Group, and one of the photographers there is like really amazing. And when he saw, I showed this in that group too, and he saw this and he said, "Oh wow, I'm jealous." I thought, "Oh okay, well maybe I do have something."
Yeah, it's like you're flying with them.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Superb.
Great evening, everybody. Pizza's calling,
Yeah.
so I gotta go.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Bill.
Thank
Yes,
you all.
thank you,
Good
thank
night,
you.
everybody.
Thank you, Steve.
See you,
Thank you,
everyone.
everybody.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
I got kicked out of Zoom and had to restart my computer and try and get in. I don't know where, who got placed in nature, basic and intermediate.
Oh, you can go tomorrow. You can go on the website, log in, and you go to competitions, and it will show you. You can select
Competition results.
results. Yes.
Okay.
And also we'll put the video up on YouTube probably
Right.
later tonight or tomorrow morning. So a couple of places.
Right.
Okay.
Normally
Thank
the
you very
results appear almost immediately, but because I have to fix the journalism sequence problem, it'll be a little later.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. And thanks to the judge.
Thank you all. It was tough.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right.
Can you just tell her? Can't you just look and tell her?
Yeah, what was the question?
My Zoom cut out and kicked me out, so I had to restart. And I didn't hear the results for nature, for basic and intermediate.
Oh, let me look it up. It's on my iPad here. Just a second. Okay, and you wanted to know what in nature?
Yeah, what were the results in basic and intermediate for the for nature?
there was only one award, and that was for the Avocet chicks.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
First
Thank
place.
you. All right. Super. Thank you.
Night, everyone.
Thank you all.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Right.